Yeah, go on.
Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be on with Daniel Francis. He's a matchmaker and sort of promoter. He's got a show on at the how do you say the centre name?
Sellwyn Centre.
In Wales, and it's a stacked card, and yeah, pleasure getting you on actually.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We've been talking about this for a while, haven't we? To come on the channel and things. You're doing fantastic work yourself. It's nice to see a young fan coming into the sport and actually trying to turn it into something positive. So you're doing brilliantly. Just a pleasure to be on the channel with you.
Anytime, mate. And yeah, we'll run through the card quickly. Of course, yeah, you've got is it 7 fights on the card?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was a 10-fight card originally, to be honest. But obviously, as we know with boxing, things happen, injuries happen, and fights fall through, and etc., cuts and whatever else. And there's a few fights falling off the card, but I still think it's a very solid card. It's stacked from top to bottom, I think, and it's topped off with that history-making moment in Welsh sport that we'll talk about shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. But not to focus on the negatives, but just talk about of course, Ethan George, the Welsh champion, was meant to be on the card. He was meant to be having his rematch with Bahadur Kamari. Explain why that fight's off.
So basically, that was going to be probably one of the fights that stole the shows, to be honest. Ethan and Bahadur would have been a fantastic fight. It was a rematch. That fight, one smaller hall fight of the year, in fact. It was only over 4 rounds previously, and he still won that fight, small hall fight of the year. Should have been fantastic to get that, but unfortunately, Ethan picked up a knee injury that set him back 6 weeks, which just means, it's just not sensible to go into a fight like that coming off an injury. So he made the right decision, and came off the card, recovered, and now he's preparing again for another fight, whatever comes down the line now.
Yeah, of course, he's the current Welsh champion after knocking out Ryan Pocock in the first round. So some win that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Ethan's a great talent at super mid. He's got a lot of power in his hands as well, and we saw that on the night. He dropped, I think, Pocock 3 times in total. And he's put the super middleweight division on notice. And as he said himself, he's coming for some bigger titles now. So fingers crossed he gets there. It'd be great for Welsh boxing.
Do you work with Ethan quite closely?
I work. I'm a matchmaker. I run a management company as well with Latif Mohammed and Joe Yerrell from up Doncaster way. So I manage fighters as well. But I'm trying to, as a matchmaker, and obviously I'm got my promoter's license, but I help Richie Garner, who's the promoter for this show, put the shows on and help work with the socials and everything and run the shows with him. But it's great to be involved with these, and I work with a lot of the Welsh boxers. Trying to get them opportunities by speaking to their managers and everything else, just to get these Welsh boys noticed, because they deserve to be seen. These Welsh fighters have got a lot of talent. It's a very small pool of talent in Wales, but it's a very, very good pool of talent. And just to be able to get these boys opportunities to be seen is what we want to do. There's big things happening, some stuff happening that I can't announce yet until it's announced. But there's a lot of big fights coming up for the Welsh boys coming through, and Welsh boys who have currently got titles and want to push on and go further.
Yeah, 100%. And another fight that was called off was Anis Taj and Toby Vermeer. I believe Anis got cut in his fight v Laborn.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so Anis is managed by ourselves at Vote Boxing.
Yeah.
Anis wanted came into a comeback fight against Ryan. We were hoping to get him out. He was hoping to fight then, and obviously fight on this show in August against Toby, and then push on from there. But as we know in boxing, things happen. It was an accidental clash of heads, and it caused a cut which had to be stitched. So we've had to push Anis's next fight back now. Anis is fighting on September the 15th in London on a Sunday show. And I think Toby's fighting, I think I've seen online, September the 28th. Yeah, in Portsmouth. So, and Toby's looking to get a win in that fight, against, is it Waka?
Yeah, and they've got similar records as well, so it should be a good fight, that one.
Yes, it's an opportunity. It's a 50-50. Hopefully Toby comes out on top, and then we can push forward from there. But Toby's got a big fight to be announced as well coming up shortly, which we can't, as I said again, unfortunately, I can't say anything at the moment.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
I can, I'm sure we can have another chat about it and get it done and dusted and have a nice little conversation about it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And of course, yeah, you mentioned the nieces on that Harrow show, so that's good for him. Would you ever think about? I think I asked the niece this. Would you ever think of trying to get that rescheduled, or can you not say?
The Toby fight?
Yeah,
Yeah, I tried to get it rescheduled for the 15th of September. But unfortunately, due to certain personal stuff, Toby couldn't do that date. So, if Toby gets a win, then why not? If he could get a run of a couple of wins, we could potentially look to getting that for the Celtic title, which is what I wanted to do down here in Wales. But obviously, we'll have to wait for that now.
fair enough, mate. Fair enough. And before we get into the card, there was one more fight. I believe it was Boris Crichton. Who was he meant to be boxing? Jordan.
It was Jordan Withers versus Boris Crichton. Obviously, we put it into the board for the Celtic title. Somebody else they allocated that belt to a different fight. So unfortunately, that fight was off because that fight is only worthy of a title. Boris has been on the big stage. Jordan Withers is coming through. He's an exceptional talent. And if he can keep on what he's doing now, training hard and putting a lot of time and effort into the sport, then he'll go far. But unfortunately, that title wasn't authorized. So, it's that fight realistically is only for a belt. So hopefully we can make that down the line again.
Oh, fingers crossed, because that was going to be a good fight as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I believe the card was stacked top to bottom. We were unfortunate as well that James Todd was unable to make his comeback fight after being on the road a few times. He was looking to come back and get a winning column, and he got cut in sparring as well. So these things happen. It's boxing. You can go from having fantastic cards, and by the time it comes to it, the card has dwindled down massively. But we've been very lucky in the fact that we've managed to keep a lot of the card solid from top to bottom,
And it's
and
still a
even.
good card.
Oh yeah, it's stacked from top to bottom. I suppose I know we'll go through it now shortly, but one fight happened where Willie Gilhaney's opponent pulled out, but realistically, that's probably worked in our favour because I think that fight we've made now is a much better fight than what it potentially would have been with Malan Valera.
Yeah, I agree as well. So yeah, talking about that, we'll get on to the card now. You've got this isn't the running order, it's just what it says on BoxRec. You've got 4 rounds in the super welterweight division between 2-0 Levi Griffiths v Nathan Darby.
Yeah, that's it. So Levi, top talent, done a lot in the amateurs, done a lot in the unlicensed scene, and obviously turned professional 2-0. Has never fought in Wales. His both fights have been on the road. It's just a fantastic opportunity. Levi's from down the road in Batalbot. Sells a lot of tickets. He's got his brother Harley Griffiths as well, who boxing manage. He'll be making his debut very soon as well. His two brothers who we can build shows around in Wales in boxing. So they're both exceptional talents. They train down in their gym in Talbot, which their dad owns. So it's exceptional talent coming through for them both. But Levi, it's a great opportunity for him to fight at home in front of his fans to showcase what he can do. Nathan Darby's a seasoned away fighter. He's got good skills. He can come and have a go. I think it's a good test for Levi at this stage. Nathan's trained by WBC world champion Junior Witter.
Yeah.
Junior's got all the skills and knowledge to help these fighters along. And we had Nathan down on our last show in the Sellwyn, so it's fantastic to have him back again.
Yeah, and as you said a minute ago, Nathan he's quite new to the sort of away scene, as he did make his debut in January on a Nielsen show. But yeah, he's been very awkward, and he's a tough customer. I believe he hasn't been. I think hang on, let me get his. I think he's been stopped once. So
Yeah, so he's a tough, durable fighter, and I think, as I said, it's a good test to Levi. And I'll be honest with you, all the fighters on the card when we go through them, but all the home fighters, they haven't turned down anybody that I put to them. Matching this card was easy because everyone just said yes to whatever ideas that we came up with. So it's brilliant.
yeah, and it's good to see. Levi's it's good to see him. Get a fight in Wales, because he fought in I think his debut was in an away corner in Manchester. Then he fought in Aldershot in April. So it's good to see him back in.
Yeah,
See him fight back in Wales in front of his friends and
yeah.
family.
Yeah, it's brilliant for him, and hopefully long may it continue.
100%. Yes. Who should we talk about next? Well, should we talk about Angelo Dragoni, the current Welsh champion at welterweight? He's 8 wins and 3 defeats, and he's boxing I'll probably butcher the name, but Ivala Gitsov.
Yeah, Evelyn. I think you pronounce it Evelyn Gitsov, I think. But obviously, I'm sorry if we obviously got his pronunciation wrong. But yeah, it's fantastic for Angelo. It's in his hometown. He hasn't boxed at home for a long, long time in front of his home fans. And it's good. It's what he deserves. Nice little homecoming, 4-rounder to tick over before getting to bigger fights at the end of the year, which we're in conversations with about now. Already. So, hopefully, fingers crossed they come off. But first of all, Angelo's got to do the job on Saturday night. It's a little tick over in the 4-rounder. Should never underestimate anybody. But I think Angelo's put in the hard work and the graft, and he's looking sharp in training, and no doubt he'll transfer over into the ring on the night.
He's of course he fought for the Welsh title 2 times. Came up short against I think it was Dante Dixon and Jacob Robinson, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so he lost to Dante Dixon on a matchroom card. Put up a fantastic fight on there. He was outstanding on there. He was outstanding. He lost to Jacob Robinson by 1 round. He put a fantastic performance up against there, and in the first time he was robbed, I think, against Christian Toos for the Welsh title. For the first, that was his first opportunity. And to be honest with you, I was there that night, and I definitely think he was robbed. He's always been the uncrowned Welsh champion, but now he can officially call himself the Welsh champion. Can't he? It's massive for him. It's brilliant, and
he beat Tom James, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Was it Tom James?
No, it was Jake Tinklin.
Oh, Jake Tinklin, sorry.
Yeah, Jake Tinklin, he beat in to win the belt. It was a fantastic performance.
He
it
was
a back and
underdog
forth
as
fight.
well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he went into that fight as the underdog, but there's Angelo has got the most grit and determination I've ever come across. He's fantastic, and long may boxing fans enjoy him while he's left in the sport, because I know he hasn't got many fights left, but he's looking for the big ones towards the end of his career now.
And it's good that he got the Welsh title, because it's very, as in England, the English is what fighters want, the British, but the Welsh as well means quite a lot to the fighters. And some fighters say they go into the sport just to win a Welsh title. You know what I mean? It means a lot to these fighters.
Yeah, definitely. And no one can ever take that away from him now. He's always going to be known as a Welsh champion, so it's brilliant.
And it was a good performance as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a back and forth fight, as I said, but Angelo digs in. He's got a lot of guts and determination, and he smashed it out of the park, and he dug in them championship rounds, and that's what won in the fight.
Yeah, and it's good to see him get his homecoming, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He deserves to have a chance in front of his home fans. He's sold tickets well. He's going to be a good crowd there on the night, and it's just for him to walk out as a Welsh champion in front of his home fans before, realistically, he'll probably go back in the away corner to get the big fights that he wants.
100%. Yes. Next up, debutant JD Curvo v Carl Sampson, 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. Talk about that one.
Yeah, JD's trained by Gary Lockett, legend of Welsh boxing is Gary. And then JD obviously is managed by Joe Cordina, the Welsh wizard himself, 2-time world champion, and Lee Eaton. So JD, it's a pleasure to have JD making his debut on our card. He's fighting an experienced journeyman in Carl Sampson. He's been around the game a long, long time. Carl's managed by another fantastic guy in boxing in Carl Greaves. And it's brilliant to have Carl on the show. It's a test for JD in his debut. He'll see what he's got. It's over the 4-round distance. And yeah, it's exciting to have him on the show, and we look forward to seeing what sort of performance JD can put in on the night.
Yeah, 100%. And you did mention Carl Sampson as well. He's a bit. He was on like a 4-fight winning streak, and he's been robbed in a few of his fights. He comes to give it a go. He's not your typical journeyman. He comes to have a fight, and if you don't turn up, you'll get beat.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Boxing should be about 50-50s now. I think the word journeyman is sort of like dwindling away now. It's more of a home fighter and away fighter now. Because I think the boys should come and have a go. You know, these guys have got the ability to win. So, you know, it's all about coming and having a go. 50-50 fights is what the fans want to see.
Yeah, 100%. And it's interesting as well, especially making you know, when it's a debutant, sometimes you don't know, like from a fan's point of view, what to expect, as it's, you know, some people's first time seeing him.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's done little bits in the amateurs, you know, but it's exciting, and you know he's got a lot of good following on social media. So his fans, we see what his fans are like on the night, and the journey begins on August the 17th for JD.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, 6 rounds in the lightweight division. In my opinion, it's a good fight uh, between Connor Miktosh, who's 7-1, v Owen Danan, who's 2-3.
Yeah, so Conor McIntosh is another current Welsh champion. No, it's brilliant to have all these Welsh champions on the show. He's coming up against Owen Durnan, who obviously was originally a prospect, as we all know. You know, he first of all went 2-0 in his career, and now he's decided to go in the away corner. So you know, it's another 50-50 fight. Conor's a fantastic boxer. You know, again he's trained by an ex-world champion in Enzo Macronelli, which four of the fighters on the card actually are. So Enzo's in for a busy night, you know, culminating in the main event. But, you know, Conor has got big things planned again, as I said, the big announcements to come. We can't make them announcements yet, but Conor, I've got most confidence in Conor that he'll get the job done on Saturday night, and he'll move on to the big opportunity that we've got coming up.
Yeah, 100%. But Owen, as you mentioned, he went 2-0, and he's been recently, I believe he's had 2 fights on a Wasserman show. He beat Jensen Irvin down in Swindon. So in my opinion, this makes for a very good fight. And I'll say this probably in the next 2 fights, 3 fights that we're about to speak about, but another one that could steal the show.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what it's about, isn't it? What better feeling for fans on the night? They don't know what fights are going to steal the show. They don't know what fights are going to light up the show. So yeah, you know, there's going to be a lot of anticipation, and hopefully, you know, the fans enjoy the night, because that's what it's about. You know, the people have paid money to come and watch the show. It's about making sure that they're entertained.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Then you've got 6 rounds welterweight division, lose Parfit, who's 1-0, v Richard Helm.
Yeah, Lewis, you know, trained by Brett Parry. You know, fantastic trainer in Wales, Brett is. You know, trains a few boys. But Lewis, what an exceptional talent. You know, he's going to be moved very quickly. You know, coming up again against an experienced away fighter in Richard Helm. You know, Richard is a fantastic away fighter, you know, tough, durable, comes to have a go. But that's what it's all about. It's another step up for Lewis from his debut. You know, but he looked outstanding in his debut, and I'm hoping that he performs to the same level again. He's got an army of fans coming down from Aberdeen with him, you know, and
He
it's going to be a
sells it,
great night.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant, and you know, we've had a lot of promo videos and everything done for this show. You know, and there's been a lot of promotion on social media around it. We've had fantastic numbers, and I just hope that it's helped these guys with their ticket sales, because that's what it's about, helping the fighters get the exposure that they deserve. You know.
Yeah, 100%. Because some people don't realise that small, especially at small hall level, is it's all about the ticket selling. Because if they can't sell enough tickets, sometimes they can't fight.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what people don't understand. These boxers a lot of time are paying to fight on small hall shows. You know that they're paying for their way to fight and their opportunities. That's why it's massive when these fighters do get given these big opportunities on the big stage, because it just changes their lives. You know, so it's about supporting them at the small hall level before they get to the big stage.
Yeah, 100% that, mate. Um, yeah, we mentioned Willie Gilheany earlier, but yeah, 6 round super middleweight division. Willie Gilheany 2-0 v Jackson Asanji, who's 2-2-2. Bit of a mouthful there, but yeah.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, Willie, you know, the gladiator, another fantastic, exceptional talent. Again, trains by Enzo Macronelli, got power in both hands, can box. You know, against Jackson, who comes to fight. You know, I've been told already he's coming to win. You know,
He is.
Action Jackson is his nickname. In He was on the top tier show last time. We
That
brought
was
him
it.
on there last time to fight. I know he put
Against
up a good
Campbell, that
performance.
was a good fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic fight, you know, and if he hadn't got dropped, they would have been a lot closer. But no, it's going to be a fantastic. I think that this fight could steal the show 100%. You know, it could be a few
Mm.
knockdowns, if they're both coming to put on the power that they said, it's going to be an exceptional fight, that one, and that one could definitely steal the show for me, I think.
Definitely going to be a good fight. It's going to be fireworks.
Oh yeah, it's one of them. Don't blink, because I think there's going to be a few big shots going in, So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it, and I think the fans are going to be in for a treat with that fight. Definitely, Willie. He's got all the talent in the world. Again, there's another big announcement coming up for Willie. As long as everything goes on for this fight, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes for these Welsh boxers. So fingers crossed, everyone gets through this, and then we can start making some announcements of what's next.
Yeah, 100%, and that's a great fight.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely one that is going to steal the show, I think.
Yeah, and get your popcorn as well for that.
Oh, 100%. Don't blink. Don't go make a cup of tea or get a drink from the bar that time,
100%. Yeah, now we'll talk about, I believe it's your main event, isn't it? Ashley Johnson v Victoria Perkins. Ashley, of course, 2-0. Victoria's 2-1, and it's for the Welsh super bantamweight title. So a bit of history as well to go with it.
Yeah, this is the fight. This is the history-making fight. The privilege to put this fight on alongside Richie Garner. Richie Garner has been a fantastic servant to Welsh boxing, put a lot of time and effort into the sport. And it's great to work alongside him and promote the show like we have this time. It's a big step up to what we've done previously, but I think it's paid dividends. And it's a fantastic honour to be involved, and always go down in history as the two people who put on the fight. But it's not about us, really. It's about the two girls. They're the ones that get in there. They're the ones that put the hard work and dedication and commitment in for the last 8 to 12 weeks in camp. The blood, sweat, the tears, the early mornings, the late nights, the dieting, missing family events, etc. But it's all for that one piece of history, as you said. It's to be crowned the first ever women's Welsh champion. There's never been another women's world champion. I've said it many times in previous interviews. Lauren Price came into the sport way past that level, so she was never gonna. That was one thing that she wasn't going to get, because obviously she's won Olympics, worlds, bronze, Olympics medals, world medals, Commonwealth medals, world titles, British titles, but she was never going to be fighting at the domestic level in Wales. But this is fantastic for these girls, because one of these girls can say that they are the first ever Welsh champion, and it's a proper 50-50 fight. It's a proper pick 'em fight. Victoria's really tall. Ashley's likes to put a lot of pressure on and can bang. So it's what style you like and how the fight's going to go on the night. But again, as I said, it'd be fantastic, and we'll let the girls enjoy the moment when they win. But there's another potential massive opportunity for the winner of this fight that's lined up as well that we can't announce at the moment. But obviously, we'll be able to announce that very, very soon, hopefully after. But let's concentrate on this and let us have this moment for the girls, and let them live up this moment, because as I said to you at the start, it's always going to go down in history. It'll always be remembered as the first ever female Welsh title fight, and it happened on Saturday, the 17th of August, in the Sellwyn Centre, on the Showdown at the Sellwyn. Ashley Johnson versus Victoria Perkins. Who's going to win? That's what I want to know. Let everyone comment on the pit thing, on the post, everything. Who's going to win? It's a proper 50-50 fight.
They've done a face-off as well, didn't they?
Yeah, we're going to talk the talk with the Punchers podcast, and we got the weigh-in on Friday, the open weigh-in for the public, and then obviously fight night on Saturday. It's going to be very, very good. I'm looking forward to it, and as I said, I'm proud and privileged to be putting on this show alongside Richie Garner.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, before I let you go, mate, do you want to tell the people what time the doors open on fight night and what time the first fight is roughly going to be?
Yeah, so doors open. Tickets. Some tickets are still available. Hit up all the fighters. They're the ones that deserve to be able to get the money in for the tickets, as we said earlier in the podcast. In the chat, they've got to pay their way to fight, so they deserve. So the doors open at 5:30. First bell 7 o'clock. It's full of action from top to bottom. All the fights are not to be missed. I just want to say a big shout out to all our sponsors as well, if that's all right. We got Next Car. If anybody's looking for any used cars in the Swansea and Neath area, hit them up. We got Peter Morgan Property Group. John the Morgan, who's the one of the directors there. He's fantastic. Anybody who wants to sell the house, then get in touch with them. And then we've got the Punchers podcast. Obviously, they sponsor the shows and the tickets as well. And we've had fantastic support from people doing our posters, doing our videos, and everything else. It's fantastic, and we really appreciate it. And it's all to be part of history. You know, it's going to go down in history. This event will be everywhere forever, and it'll be always written in the history books.
100%. I mean, yeah. So make sure you get down to the show. And yes, Dan, thank you for your time, mate, and all the best with the show on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Billy. Like I said, anytime, and once we can announce these big fights that I've been mentioning in the interview, we can catch up again and obviously discuss all them.
All right, nice one, mate. I'll see you in a bit.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.